feel what I'm saying? But I don't think that Meek Mill knows that we're in a spiritual warfare.
These days, I'm letting God handle all things above. The things I can't change are the reason you love me. Listen, you can hear them calling my name. I'm all over the place, I can't sit in one place. I'm not ashamed at all.
You know what I'm saying? He's playing two different games. He's playing the let me try to put my foot in the streets in a sense to create content and music and stuff like that to tap into the street realm, but also playing with these billionaires, you know what I'm saying? And they playing a completely different game. Like I don't think he understands that they might be somewhat, if you run across like Michael Rubens and stuff like that, might be somewhat genuine. Now everybody's in stuff for their own personal benefit, but they're playing two big games. They're playing with, using him for status and fame, because a lot of them are popular and have money, but they're not as famous. They're not tapped into certain cultures, so it will help their brand. It'll help them become even bigger if they align themselves with stars like they do at those white parties that they've been talking about, such as the Little Babies and the Meek Mills and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? So I think Meek don't realize, like it says Meek Mill rips culture vulture record labels, which obviously I'm not throwing shots at Meek, but he should know that these record labels are culture vultures. They're out to make money, and I don't even think it's like one of those things where it's like it might be. Some people are racist. Some people are using the culture to make money, but I think for the most part, because we're in a spiritual warfare. You feel what I'm saying? It's full of demons, toxic people, ego-driven people. So it's probably a level of them that don't care if you black, white, blue, and orange. It just seems like black people are more profitable in the United States. They suppress us, control us, and also profit off of us. You feel what I'm saying? That was a bar, baby. But for real. So he said he'll die for this. You feel what I'm saying? And I think these labels don't care. Like, I feel like tied into a lot of them. Let me turn this up. That's my slogan on here. I'm different, you different, we different. I always say, let me turn this up. But I think I don't know if Meek is self-aware in regards to the demons that are out here. I think he knows because he's talking about the streets and he talks about narcissism. I see him tweet about narcissism, which most music artists won't. I was surprised about that. I'm like, Meek is tweeting about narcissism. People in the public eye try to stay away from that. Even Jeanette McCurdy, even when she talked about like her mom should die, she wrote that book. My mom, I'm happy my mom died or whatever. She's basically saying her mom was an abusive narcissist, but she didn't want to say it. So people in the limelight try to stay away from that topic because individuals can be abusive and toxic and narcissistic without being a narcissist. So people try to stay away from that word, on top of the fact that narcissists are dangerous individuals, especially when they have money and people behind them where they could get people lined up, which I'm pretty sure a lot of that one famous guy, I forget his name, but he's talking about how actors be getting killed or their careers be getting destroyed. He talked about Brittany Murphy, who died. And I'm sure they'll probably get set up in a different type of way. Or Jim Carrey's girlfriend that was super young, how she died. But I'm pretty sure they'll get set up in a different way. Maybe poison, maybe something that we'll never like assume. You know what I'm saying? Everything eventually comes to the light, but we won't assume that they got set up. It won't be as blatant as being in the hood and being shot or being lined up by a girl who was messing with another guy, which is very common in the hood areas or whatever the case may be. But also, like I said, Meek Mill talked about, record labels being culture vultures. He's saying he'll die for this. He just posted something, which I seen New Breed, who's a chosen one. Shout out to New Breed on YouTube. He talks about, New Breed talks about the Meek situation, but Meek said this on a story on Instagram. He said, real killers and robbers know they would die if they touched me. But I'm letting business people take what's mine. I don't know, man. I don't really know. Ooh, that makes my voice shake because he's basically like, listen, he's basically in the situation that I've been talking about, how people are delusionally confident, which most of us are, because we think we know it all, but we know we are confident within what we know so far, but there's so much more out here that we don't know, such as spiritual warfare, such as X, Y, Z, you know what I'm saying? But he said, I'm letting business people take what's mine. I don't know, man. I don't really know how to handle this one. I'm off the net, basically saying he's off the internet. You feel me? And then there's that picture of him dancing with Michael Rubin and all of them. Because a a lot of them probably got a kick out of seeing him jump, and a lot of people were saying that he's a coon and he's dancing with. But I'm gonna be honest, Meek strikes me as this type of dude. He grew up in the hood. He grew up around a lot of toxicity. He grew up in Philly, where I grew up as well. You know what I'm saying? He had a dangerous walk of life. And he tried to get out of that. He tried to do what's best for people, as he talked about in many podcasts, such as the Gilly the Kid podcast, $1 million worth of game. He talks about how he had to cut certain people off because they were expecting certain things and they wanted money from him. And you feel what I'm saying? And it gets to a point where people get so entitled that you got to cut them off, and they also don't want what's best for you. And they might get you set up or lined up, like I said before, about that type of thing that happened with the women a lot more often. But men line up other men too. Line up, if you don't know, it means get you killed or murdered or whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying? That happens very often in the hood areas. But from what we're learning now in the spiritual warfare, that it happens in all walks of life. Whether you're rich, whether you're famous, whether you're from the hood or not from the hood, we just broadcast it on the news and we talk about like, oh, they killed Ricky or whatever the case may be. But it's happening all over, just in different ways, different forms. They might psychologically kill you in certain areas, or if you're in Hollywood and they don't want you around, they'll destroy your career or get you to commit suicide or whatever the case may be. Who knows? That could happen with Robin Williams. I'm speaking too much truth. They're gonna get me out of here. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like Meek Mill said, he's taking step back off the net, and I think the internet, and I think he needs to understand that. When he even came out recently, he talked about how record labels will push for you to talk about toxic stuff in order for you to grow big. And I think he doesn't realize also, he talks about Martin Luther King, and we talk about truth tellers, and we are truth tellers. Those that watch me, we speak truth, so we know that people will attack us. Even if you post a TikTok video about narcissism, or you post a TikTok video about spirituality, spiritual warfare, that God is coming back, Jesus is coming back, whatever the case may be, people will attack you. So within this, with the Meek situation, I think he needs to understand that he's a target. So with him saying he's getting off the net, I completely understand that. I completely understand him having to separate from this whole situation, because it is very probably detrimental to his health. But I think he needs to understand that, bro, you're being a truth teller. You're being a vocalizer of things that in reality, think about this, even though he feels like he's doing the right thing and he probably feels like that is part of his purpose in life, you have to realize that that comes with something. Look what happened to Martin Luther King. Look what happened to Malcolm X. Look what happened to JFK. Look what happened to JFK's brother, who eventually went out and was speaking in regards to spreading love, in regards to some of Martin Luther King's message. He tried to play both sides of the fence, and they kicked him on the other side, which was, bang, no more here. You feel what I'm saying? Just know that when you speak out, when you're a truth teller, trust me, I'm a truth teller in my own narcissistic family. I'm a truth teller in society. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything perfect. But when you become a truth teller, when you become an individual who is calling stuff out, people will try to destroy you, because there's so many variables within these things within life. You feel what I'm saying? Not only that, when you become a truth teller, you're going to be attacked by the individuals that are around you. Although they know that you're speaking the truth, you're messing with people's money. You're messing with people's time. You're messing, and you might have brothers, people that you call brothers, or my bro, or whatever the case may be, and they might be like, yo, he that's for real. But hold up, he messing with my money. Like, they might ignore you. They might not even bang with you no more, which is going to ruin the relationship with you. That's going to lower your vibration, because you feel like that person is rocking with you. So you're going to have people that he thought was cool with him that's going to cross him, because they feel like you messing with their situations. Because although we might be putting out this toxic stuff, and whatever the case may be, bro, I'm going to take care of my family with this toxic stuff. It's like you got a drug dealer and he got the work. You feel what I'm saying? That the drugs is the work. He got the work, and you sitting here, you become an advocate for people selling drugs. What you think that drug dealer gonna do? Your homie, y'all both drug dealers, and you come out of nowhere talking about you. That's how we talk in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like, we over here selling drugs, and it's not good for the kids. And bro, I'm taking care of my family. I just hit a crazy lick, and I need you to chill. Like, what did you? Or he might not say nothing to you. He might keep it pushing. Oh, he a snitch. You know what I'm saying? And that's the people on your side. So the people on Meek's side, the other rappers and stuff, might be like, yo, why is you telling them that? You know what I'm saying? Most people know that already. Why is you saying that? So that's just that side. And then on the other side, you got the Michael Rubins and stuff. So on the other side, like for example, with the drug dealer situation, that's like telling the police. You know what I'm saying? Telling the police, like, yeah, we selling drugs, we got chill. But with Meek's situation, with him dealing with Michael Rubin, going on that, what's that, NCAAP or whatever, going on that stand when talking to all those people, he's basically exposing everything that's going on. And then people the street cred people, the people that's in the streets, you feel what I'm saying? Going to and I'm not from the streets, you feel what I'm saying? I grew up in the hood, but I'm not hood, you know what I'm saying? So I'm an innocent bystander. I'm just speaking on this situation because I'm somewhat tapped into the music. Not really no more after my spiritual awakening. I started working on myself, but I know a little bit, a little something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the streets though. Let's keep. Let's. I'm real with myself. You feel what I'm saying? Not saying none of them are, but I wasn't in the streets. I'm not a street dude. I'm Josh. I'm Josh different. You feel me? But there's a certain level of a individual that will operate in the streets and they'll think that Meek is somewhat of a snitch and he calls out snitches. You feel what I'm saying? They could throw that into them attacking him when he called 6ix9ine a snitch and he went so hard on 6ix9ine being a snitch. And they said that, Rick Ross could possibly be a snitch or Meek's manager or whoever higher up in there was a snitch and is like was an informant and is like on paper or whatever the case may be. But I don't think that Meek Mill knows what he's dealing with. He might know somewhat dealing with Robert Kraft and Michael Rubin and even dealing with other rappers or just Drakes and stuff like that. I'm not diagnosing nobody. I'm not saying nobody's no demons or nothing like that. But y'all see what's going on in Hollywood. Y'all see what's going on in the music industry. Y'all see everything that is being exposed. You feel me? Y'all see everything is being exposed. So Meek, honestly, if he don't want to get that heat, because it seemed like he don't want that heat, he's taking a break off the internet and these business people playing with him. That is what business is. Business is filled with toxic people. Business is a spiritual warfare in itself inside of this world, spiritual warfare. Most people in business don't want what's best for nobody but themselves. They want to tear you down. They want to use you. And Meek Mill, you are a high commodity. You are important. You look at how people talk about Jay-Z. I don't know if Jay-Z's a narcissist. I don't know if he's toxic, but Jay-Z does look what he did with Dame Dash and all of them or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that Jay-Z is the type of person that he does what he has to do to get to the top, whether that's trashing on somebody. And in his mind, he might not consider that trashing on somebody, but other people might. Whether he go on interviews and twist the words or whatever the case may be, some people might perceive that as that's just not loyal. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why he's so successful. Because to win in the world, quote unquote, you have to somewhat be cutthroat. You have to play a dirty game. And business is a dirty game. On top of this, mixed in with spiritual warfare, toxic individuals, ego-driven individuals, narcissistic individuals. So Meek Mill, you are part of something that I don't think you know what you're dealing with. You might know on a certain level. You might know on the hood level. You might even 50 Cent said it. 50 Cent said the people in the business world and the music industry are way more cutthroat than people in the hood. And ironically, Meek and 50 Cent had a beef. Because I think Meek is capable of seeing what 50 is saying in regards to the industry and in regards to what's going on. But I think that Meek may have reached a threshold where he got delusionally confident, as I talk about all the time. And he think that he got it all figured out. And he think that fame is getting to his head. Look how he was talking to DJ Academics, not realizing that DJ Academics is the least of his words. But he get delusionally confident because when he talk to DJ Academics, he know he can talk crazy to him. But when you talk to these business people and these Michael Rubins and these Robert Krafts or whatever the case may be, they built different. They won't even respond to you how DJ Academics respond to you. They so manipulative. And I'm not saying Michael Rubin specifically or Robert Kraft or whatever, but the people in the business world I'm talking about, they just the faces of the individuals that Meek is talking to. The people in that world play in a different game that I'm not sure Meek know what's going on. Now I think 50 Cent is tapped into it somewhat, although he probably picks and chooses what elements of it he wants to play in order to get what he wants, because that's what it's all about. It's all about everybody getting what they want. That's how they operate. That's how you thrive. I hate to say it. I haven't mastered that game. I don't want to play that game. But I'm honest with you. The way the world is, I think, I think that I'm gonna just speak on myself. I think that you pick a side, and Meek has picked the side that you gotta play that game, and you better have God with you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta play that game. I haven't tapped into that side. I'm gonna keep the buck with you because you gotta be ready for that. And most of the time, you're not. You're never gonna be ready for that. But you gotta fight the punches as they come. As this person trying to use you. Like I talked in one of my videos, a lot of times we say people coming in your life as a blessing or a lesson. I just thought about it when I was outside. I said no. Some people come in your life as a blessing and a lesson. So you have to, like for example, Mike Rubin. Hypothetically, I don't know if he's a demon. He could have got Meek out of jail. That was the blessing. The lesson could be that he's not good for Meek long term, or he might be just a using individual for status. He might be a using individual, and he don't really genuinely care about Meek. He's just using him for his image or to for Michael Rubin himself to tap into a different element of an audience, Meek's audience. He might be looking at as he might not even be a demon per se. He might just be looking at as Meek, I helped you out, now help me. But he's not gonna say that. Now help me show the world, show your world, your select group of people who I am as well. And I'm gonna show my select group of people who you are. It's business. But I don't think Meek understands that. I think his emotions are tied into something that other people's emotions are not tied into. And that's just me from the outside. It could be way deeper than that. It could be way different than that. But you never know unless you're in there. You never know unless you truly understand, you know what I'm saying? But all I can do is share my perspective based off of what I see on the other side. Yes, as he was at the NAACP, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the racism and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? You walk in a dangerous path when you become a truth teller in any situation because people conform and fall in line, and people are afraid to speak up, and those who speak up get scrutinized, and that's whether you're in a certain country, in a certain family, in a certain company, in a certain religion. Truth tellers are destroyed, and sometimes they persevere and they overcome. But a lot of times, from what I've been seeing, their spirit is what lives long, and their physical body is destroyed. Look at like I said, the Martin Luther Kings. Even look at people like the Robert Williams. He wasn't a truth teller, but in his own way, he spreaded a positive message. He helped people. He smiled and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the devil attacked him mentally. So I look at stuff in that aspect as well too. But you know, I wish Meek the best, and I hope he starts to understand or starts to align himself with individuals who can get him to that certain level. I feel like Meek reached a certain level and then he just got delusionally confident, rather continuing to learn, such as like a 50 Cent type of individual, or like tap out of all of this like an Eminem. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like Eminem don't play this game. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent is still thriving in so many different things because he knows how to adapt. Especially if you're a truth teller. 50 is like 50 speak the truth, but he's not a truth teller. Meek is becoming a truth teller. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous game to play. And I'm one of those people. I can't keep my mouth shut. You feel what I'm saying? My landlord threw shots at me about that. He's not American. He's like, yeah, black people don't shut up, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But he was just basically trying to be passive aggressive to me. But that's what happens when you're chosen. People don't like certain qualities about you, so they're going to throw shots at you indirectly and act like they're not talking about you. That's part of the game. And then the deeper you get, like as far as Meek is in the spiritual warfare get higher, passive aggressiveness turns into, let me steal your opportunity. Let me create a banner talking about you. You feel what I'm saying? You might go online and you thought we was cool beans, you feel what I'm saying? And I done wrote a whole article about you. I didn't tip somebody off based off of some personal information that you told me, and now you wonder how it got out, but it was the person that you thought was cool with you the whole time, or the person that you was doing something with and you had the opportunity with. That's the game. It's a spiritual warfare. And sometimes we forget, although we have a lot. Look at me sounding all philosophical. But for us, sometimes we forget in the midst of the war. You can't forget the awareness. You can't forget that there's mimes all over the place when you're in a war, because you might blow up and you feel me? That's something I'll be having to remind myself. I can't, how I am on YouTube, you feel what I'm saying? I can't go out in public and be like that. People be like, be yourself. I feel like be yourself is a very overrated line. Because being yourself in all situations, being yourself, being how you naturally feel in that moment is dangerous. I say this all the time on TikTok, each situation calls for a different version of you. Say I'm lying. Live like that. Good luck to you. Just like P&B Rock, rest in peace, he got killed out here in California. There's a possibility that he was being himself when he came up with them guns and them chains. Himself could have been, oh, let me thug it out. Yeah, let me let these people know. You feel what I'm saying? I'm from Philly. And they're like, I'm from LA. But I gotta get to work, so I'm done talking about this. Meek Mill, I wish you the best. Rest in peace to P&B Rock. 50 Cent, you the GOAT. Keep going. You feel what I'm saying? Michael Rubin and Robert Kraft. I hope y'all not doing Meek Mill dirty, but if y'all just playing the business game, can you really blame them? Even though I don't respect that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Josh Different. I'm different. You different. We different. Dang, this was a good episode. I didn't expect to talk 20 minutes about this. Although I do like when my videos go this long, but I wasn't expecting to talk this long. But hey, the videos is coming, baby. I set this up so I can start creating videos on YouTube, start thriving, start, you know what I'm saying, start posting, and basically just start talking about different things, talking about different contexts, share my perspective on different, you know, situations. And hopefully y'all enjoy it. Hopefully it's entertaining. I don't know everything, but I know a little something. And I'm different, you different, we different. I'm out.
These days, I'm letting God handle all things above. The things I can't change it around.